tatycokley. I'm back for another video, and as you can see with the title, today I'm telling y'all the dating mistakes that y'all continue to make. You guys are always like, Tati, why can't I keep him? Tati, why do the men keep leaving me? I'm gonna tell you why right now. Disclaimer, this is no way saying that you know, every relationship that you had that failed was just your fault only, or I don't know, just like you're the problem, or that you even need to be in a relationship at all. This is none of those things. But if you are curious if maybe some of these things apply to you or you want to apply them in the future, keep watching. Okay, so in this video I'm gonna talk about dating like when you're in a relationship, dating when you're just dating around, talking to a bunch of people. Like, it's gonna be a broad spectrum with little tips in for each one, so you're covered. So let's just get into this. But first, if you've not subscribed to my channel yet, what are you doing? We're gonna give you a couple seconds to do that. Did you do it? Good. Now you can watch the video, and welcome to our family. Also, follow me on my socials. This is where you can participate in polls, all that fun stuff, or whatever. Let's just get into this. Okay guys, as always, I do not like pre-think these out or how many I'm gonna do. So this might be 5, 10, 15, so I don't know what it's gonna be. So we're just gonna, you know, go along for the ride. But the first thing that is on my mind is number one, a huge dating mistake that I see so many of y'all make is pretending to be somebody you're not in the beginning to snag him. It's not gonna work, sis, and let me tell you why. When you try to like be somebody that you're not, you can only keep that up for but so long. At one point, you're going to get comfortable and become your real self, and then he's gonna be like, that's not who I fell in love with, I'm out. And now you just wasted months, years, whatever of your time, because you can only pretend to be somebody else for so long. You're going to get caught up, I promise. You can't pretend to be Miss I know everything about sports, and then a couple years or a year down the line he asks you something, you don't know what you're talking about, he like, girl, what? It's literally always better to be yourself. As corny as that sounds, listen, at one point you're gonna get real comfortable and have to be yourself anyway, and you might as well start it off from the jump. Okay, next, number 2. Okay, this one is actually really important to me because I'm tired of seeing y'all do this. The second dating mistake I see people make is making the other person their like end all be all. So like making your whole life about the other person. Like, you're doing something, they need help, you drop it. What do you need, babe? Like, no. Somebody should never be your whole world. Somebody should never be more important to you than you are. That's just like the biggest mistake. And I know you guys are gonna be like, well, why though? Because if that person is not reciprocating that energy, they're just using you, and they're just comfortable with you being there because they know you always will be there. So they don't have to put that work in. They don't have to like learn to love you. They don't have to put that effort in. They don't have to do none of that because you're gonna do whatever for them regardless of what they do. Totally okay to pour yourself into somebody and to love somebody as you should be. You guys should be growing together. But baby, you shouldn't be emptying your cup into theirs. A mutual pour, okay? Next. 3. The next dating mistake that I see girls make is kind of like letting go of your wants and needs and just letting your needs be his needs. And that is not the same as the first one because of this. Let's say you don't want to do something, or you don't like to do something, but you do it because he does. You don't like cooking, but you keep cooking because he wants you to cook. And he knows you don't like cooking, but you keep cooking because he wants it. So this is putting you in a position where you're just continuously miserable. And I promise you will learn to resent him. Resentment is a thing in relationships. Do not get it twisted. That resentment also, I feel like a lot of people think that resentment comes after like 40 years of marriage, and it's like, I gave my whole life to you. No, baby, you can learn to resent somebody in a couple months. So trust and believe. Don't do that. Then on his end, he's now comfortable in the position of letting you sacrifice your wants and needs to please him. So you can't even blame him when he's like, when you finally say no and he's like, no, because now you've created a monster, baby. Now, it's not to say we're blaming women, because we definitely are not. But it is very important to get in front of these things and identify the red flags before we let them become goddamn red screens. Stop letting these men coerce you into doing things that you don't want to do because you love them. Let me tell you something. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Love is not enough. If I ask you why you're still with somebody, if I ask you why you're sacrificing everything and you tell me, because I love him. No, I love damn chicken nuggets. But that doesn't mean that that's my whole life and that I sacrifice everything for myself for these little chicken nuggets. Next. I think we're on 4. Okay, so now in like the general term of dating, like talking around to different people, dating around, another one is talking to too many people at once. Listen, If you're talking to people, I totally understand like talking to multiple people at once until things kind of get more serious, especially in the beginning of things. But if you're talking to like 10 different people at one time, you're not getting to know each one of them intimately enough. If you're looking for a relationship and you're spreading yourself to 10 different people, they're not getting all of you and you're not getting all of each one of them. You're really not going to get to know somebody if you're trying to get to know 10 people at once. It's too much to remember. It's too much going on. Focus on, if you're really talking to people, it's okay to talk to a couple people. You know what I'm saying? Like a little grab full. 5 is even too much for me. I think that's good as a headache. If you're entertaining a couple people at a time, that's okay, because you're getting to know like, okay, where do I stand? Now when things seem to get a little bit more serious or exclusive, it's important to have those conversations. Next tip, 5. It is important when you're dating, talking to somebody, to set boundaries, to have those conversations. I see too often where somebody will be talking or dating to somebody. I see it too often when somebody is talking to somebody or dating somebody, whatever you want to call it, when they're doing that and one person is thinking, okay, I'm talking to you, so that means we're exclusive, and the other person is thinking, baby, we're just talking, we're not exclusive, and that's where issues occur. Kaboom. So you need to make sure that when you are, you know, getting a little bit further with somebody, you kind of feel like you're hitting it off, you know, you like them, have that conversation. I think girls are, especially women, are very afraid to have those conversations, the what are we conversation. But listen, baby, it don't gotta be that deep. It could just be like, hey, just so I'm clear on what's going on here, what boundaries are we setting? I'm comfortable being exclusive if you are. I'm also comfortable not being exclusive if you are. Then if somebody breaks the boundaries after that, then you could be upset. But if boundaries were never set, you cannot be upset. Bars. If I give you the keys to my car and I say, take it, and then in my mind, I wanted you to bring it back by 7 p.m., but I didn't express that, and then you don't bring it back till 12, can I be mad? I did not set boundaries, so you did whatever you wanted to do, as you should. There you go, if you weren't understanding why I was saying that. What are we on, 6 now? So the next thing, I'm just gonna kind of brush over because I've discussed this before. There's a cat and mouse game. You should never always be the cat. That's just that on that. I feel like that is a understandable metaphor. I don't have to go too deep into it. You just shouldn't be the one chasing them all the time. After a date, you shouldn't be the one like texting them 24/7, triple, quadruple texting them. No, make it seem like, even if you don't, make it seem like you are busy as well, or try to get busy. Do something. You should never be the person that is just on the other person's ass, because now you're creating kind of like a standard of like, she wants me, I don't need them, and we don't want that, okay? We want it to be the opposite. Just make sure you're not the one that's on top of them all the time, okay? Next, what are we on, 7? So another dating mistake that's like another, I guess, quick one. Just because somebody's cute does not mean y'all are a perfect match. Let's just cut that out now. Especially I see this in like younger relationships. It's like, oh, you're cute, I'm cute, let's date. Like, girl, that's not gonna last. Dating is like serious, and relationships are very, very serious and a lot of hard work and can make or break somebody. So trust and believe me when I say, just because he's cute and he's this doesn't mean you should bypass the things about him that you don't like. Make sure your eyes are open to see all of him or all of her or all of them. Make sure your eyes are wide open, okay? We cannot be blinded by some muscles. Next, okay, so this one I'm going to say, if you are insecure and you know you're trying to get in a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship, or just to make you feel whole, or to make you feel seen, or to get attention, don't date right now. You need to make sure that you're building yourself up first before you go and jump in a relationship. And honestly, if you're dating around or talking to people, ask yourself first, why am I doing this right now? If you just want a boyfriend, that's fine. Or if you're just entertaining people, that's fine. But make sure you ask yourself that question, because the answer might be because I'm lonely on my own, which is not good, or because I'm insecure, or because I need attention, I need to fill this void. If it's anything like that, take a step back and remove yourself for not only them but for yourself, because you're setting yourself up for issues as well. Next, okay, this one is gonna be controversial. I always see people talking about how if you're not dating to marry, then you're wasting your time. I disagree, and I think that is actually what ruins a lot of relationships, because you guys are getting into relationships looking for this to be the end all be all. This is my husband, this is who I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with, period, door shut on everybody else, and that is just not healthy. I don't think you guys should be practicing vows before you give them. That's not healthy. I think it's okay to just date, experience people. If that experience ends up in being the love of your life, that's wonderful. If that experience ends up just teaching you something for the next person, that's wonderful too. I don't think we need to put like a stamp on each relationship like I'm dating for him to be my husband. First of all, don't feel guilty if you also are not the type that's like chasing to be a wife. It's okay to not want to be somebody's wife. Everybody doesn't want to have to do that, or somebody's husband. It's okay. Do not let other people's standards be your standard. So the point is, you don't have to date to marry. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. I think you can date to experience people, and wherever it ends up is wherever it ends up. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Next, okay, just to drop some like actual psychological facts on you guys right now from psychology, there is something called Sternberg's triangle of love. On this triangle, we have intimacy, passion, and commitment. If you are missing any of these things, any of the three, your love life is gonna be a little shaky. So if you're just dealing with one person right now and you're missing something, you're missing the passion. Yeah, you guys are intimate, yeah, you guys are committed, but there's no passion there. The fire is burned out. That's a concern. If you're with somebody and you have the passion, you have the commitment, but there's no intimacy, that's a concern. You're not meeting each other on a deeper level. And if you're just having intimacy and passion without that commitment, you are friends with benefits. It's not cute. Do not do that. This goes back to my thing before where I was saying make sure you guys set boundaries, because this is setting yourself up to be hurt as well. You're intimate with somebody, you're passionate about them, but there is no commitment. Girl, get it together before you get heartbroken. Next, lastly, I just want to make sure you guys are putting your standards where they need to be. So let's just stop settling for people just to have somebody. Let's stop settling for people because we think this is the best that we can get. Let's just stop settling. If you have things that you want from a man, if you have things that you need from your partner, such as communication skills, such as intimacy, such as vulnerability, do not settle on those things, because by settling, again, you're going to grow to have that resentment. You're going to grow to resent yourself for letting yourself settle on things like that just to have somebody in your life. That's not okay. Do better for yourself. You are the top spot in your life. You are the queen. You are number one. Remember that, please. Damn. All right. Okay, so I'm really hoping that you guys take something from this, apply it to your life. Let me know if you've made any of these mistakes, if you are not going to make them in the future, all that. But first, you know, I have to give my comment shout out of the week. This week's shout out goes to Debbie. Here's her page. I saw you were super fast on my last video commenting. I just want to let you know that I love you so much, and that will never change. Alright, y'all, so make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to your post notifications on. You got a lot to do. You better get to it, and I will see y'all in my next one.